Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War. Willie Jean Ulrich, Robert Roger Almers, Otis Eliza Andrews, William Henry Bader, Felix D. Begay, Larry Wayne Birch, Reinhard Boger, Robert Ronald Bowler, Larry Lee Boyce, Charles Edward Boston, Paul F. Branyan Jr., Marvin Carroll Breezaker, James Patrick Brock, Franklin Eugene Brooks, Tinsley Bryant, Bowden Peter Bryden, Samuel Veal Bullock Jr., Robert Crawford Campbell, Chad Leonard Carson, Vernon Thomas Carter Jr., John Charles Cavanaugh, Richard Earl Chabot, Thomas Todd Chapman, Melvin E. Clark, Joseph Clemens, Robert Lee Kraft, Michael Lee Crowson, Ronald Eugene Cummings, Roland Eugene Darling Jr., Omer Jean Darty, William Edward Davis Jr., Jean DeRita, David Michael Dickman, Dana Edward Deal, Randy Eugene Dillender, Charles Alvin Dixon, Freddie Jr. Dobbins, Albert Eugene Dussault, William John Eder, Charles Joseph Esbenson, William Peter Farrell, James Eugene Farrow, Barry Edward Feldman, Jose Juan Figueroa, Donald Lewis Fleetwood, John Joseph Fulham Jr., Dexter Nunton Gamble Jr., Henry R. Garcia, Daniel Eli Gardner, John Duff Gaiman, James Fitzroy Gee, Donald Eric Glickman, Manuel Martinez Gonzalez, John Norbert Grochtrup, Michael Stephen Grannon, Jerry Grant, Robert Henry Gross, Donald Harvey Guitar, Boyce Lee Hall, A.C. David Hall, Jim Lawrence Harnden, Robert David Hickman, John King Hobson, Gary Stephen Hodges,
Lathan Houston, Bruce Lee Howard, Bobby Hudson, Lamont Jackson, Randall David Gerald, Claude L. Johnson, Joe Manuel Juarez, Robert L. Keckler, Ronald Floyd Keener, Billy Allen Kelsall, John Henry Knudsen, Robert John Larson, James Harold Lewis, Jack William Logan Jr., William Allison Lowry, Washington Carver Mabel, William Allen Machachik, Charles Richard McFarland, Scott Winston McIntyre, Donald Frank McKenzie, Doyle Allen McShann, John Patrick Malloy, Robert Keith Maris, Douglas J. Miller, Ivan Dean Miller Jr., Joseph Gary Mixon, Joseph Thomas Monahan, Joe Moreno, Ira Jerome Murphy, Stephen Howard Nelson, Melvin Douglas Nelson, Owen Francis Newmeyer, John Nishimura, Jerry Kent Patrick, L.C. Pitchford, Leslie Puzarewski, Lawrence Frederick Raymaker, Donald Joseph Rian, Jose Antonio Rudon, Martin Ruiz Jr., Robert David Sage, Rudy Montiad Sagon, Pedro Sanchez Jr., George Austin Sanders, Ronald Lee Sandman, Dominic Sansone, Michael Jorn Saunders, John Stephen Sayer, Ralph Shank, Michael Robert Shepard, Drew Douglas Shipley, Clifford Richard Singleton, Barry James Sittler, Monty Thomas Sloan, Kenneth Wayne Smarr, Melvin Smith, Samuel Jerome Smith, Walker Smith Jr., Bobby Clyde Snyder, Melvin Dwayne Sadowski, Ronald Clark Stallings, Charles Dean Stringfield, Reginald J. Sutherland, Ronald James Taylor, Robert Anthony Twing, Woodrow Wilson Vaden, Ralph Mario Valencia, Lloyd Allen Van Adder, Johnny Villarreal, Dennis Ray Wegner, David Anthony Weir, Harry Ray White Jr., Philip Tony Wiley, John Walter Wilson Jr., James Earl Wright,